Lesson 9, Cursive, capital letters N, M, U, V, W, Y, E. We'll begin with the capital N. Make sure you are in proper handwriting position. If your paper is straight, then you need to slightly slant your paper upward with the hand that you write. And make sure it's right in front of you, feet on the floor in front of you. And have your cave down. Here we go with capital N. As I said in the last lesson, we begin at or around the top line. This is where we need to begin just below the top line. So we go we go below the top line. You're going to loop upward, touch the top line, come straight down to the baseline, reverse, go back up the same line. Once you get to the top line, hump over, come straight back down again, and then you'll have a little kick. This line and this line need to be parallel as best you can. Again, below the top line, just below, not too close to the midline, just below the top line. Loop up or hook up, okay? Come straight down to the baseline. Reverse, go back up the same line. Don't pick up your marker or pencil. And then come straight back down with a little kick at the end. Again, below the top line, hook upward like that. Straight down. Straight back up, hump over, and come straight down with a little kick. Your turn. Next letter will be a capital M, just as you do with lowercase manuscript N and M. The N gets one hump and the M gets two humps. So here we go again, but this is a capital, so begin below the top line. You're going to hook up, touch the top line, straight down, go back up, reverse, hump over again. I'm going to make it skinnier so that my entire M is skinnier. And then hook up again and come straight back down to the baseline. And that's your capital M in cursive. Again, straight down. It's a little bit more slanted than the first one. Either one works. So here we go again. Below the top line, hook up, straight down, straight back up, hump over, straight back, hump over again. Be sure that all three of these lines touch the baseline and that the hump, both humps are also touching the top line. Your turn. Next letter will be a capital U. Just as we did with the N and the M, we begin below the top line. You're going to hook up, come down to the baseline. You're going to make a U-turn down there, come straight back up, straight back down, and have a little kick. Again, hook up, U-turn, straight up, straight back down the same line with a little kick. Again, one more time, hook up, U-turn, straight back down, and a little kick. Your turn. Next letter will be a capital V, very much like the capital U. Begin below the top line, hook up, just as you do with the other letters above. Make a U-turn, come up, and then this time you're going to come out a little bit. And that's your capital V. Again, hook up. This one's kind of a tight hook. Come down, U-turn, come up, and come out a little bit more. Again, hook up, U-turn, ending it, you come out a little bit more. Capital V. Your next letter is a capital W. Remember, it's not just one U, but it's W. So here we go, below the top line, hook up, come down, U-turn, make it a skinny U-turn, come straight up because this determines how wide your W will be. And then you make another W, and then when you come out, at the end, you swoop it off just like you did with the V. Again, a tight hook, U-turn, touching the baseline, touch the top line, reverse, another U-turn, equally as wide as the first one, and then you come out. Again, tight hook up, touch the baseline, one U, W, and come out. Your turn. Next letter will be the capital Y. We have the tight hook again, so below the top line, hook up, touch the top line, come down, U-turn, looks so much like the U, except this time we need to reverse and come all the way straight down into the descending space, a front loop, and then come out. Don't go past your descending space area. Again, touch the top line, U-turn, touch the top line straight back down, come down below, and then a forward hook in the front. U-turn, straight back down, and a left loop in the front. Your turn. Our last letter for this week will be the capital E. Notice how I put an L up here to remind you that you're going to be moving to the left. Begin below the top line, just below it, right there. Go up to the top line, touch it, loop around on the left to the midline. Once you get to the midline, you're going to make a little loop inside there, come down, make a bottom loop, and then you're going to come out just a little bit further. Notice if I drew a line right here, this is out much further. So we want the E to come out a little bit more. Again, below the top line, loop to the left, make a tiny loop right at the midline, loop around again, touch the baseline, and then come out further. Again, touch the top line, loop at the midline, loop again, and come out further. Your turn. Next, let's go ahead and practice writing some sentences using some of the capital letters that we've learned up above. The first sentence will be you driving to El Paso. As we write, we're going to write our letters very narrow so that you'll get a nice even flow of how you're supposed to be writing in cursive. Beginning with the word you. Let's begin just below the top line, and we need to tightly hook up, come down to the baseline, U-turn, and again I'm writing very skinny and narrow, left loop in the front. Now that my end connector is down below, I can go directly into my O, high connector, into the U, with a nice little kick. U, next word will be driving, goes to O, begin at the baseline, slope up, over and around, straight up to the top line, straight back down. Here's my R, stop at the midline, come off the midline, and then scoop in a little bit, go into an I. Now my V is a hump over, skinny, and then I'm going to make a U-turn, and then it's a high connector into my next letter, which is an I. Now hump over for an N, hump over twice, and let's go into the G, close it up, and a front, loop in the front. Don't forget to dot your I's. U, driving, next word is to, ghost O, T, all the way, touch the top line, come straight back down, make my O with a high connector, cross my T, U, driving to, next part of the sentence will be El Paso. That's two separate words, so ghost O. Let's begin with our capital E. Make one loop at the top. At the midline, make a little tiny loop. Bottom loop. Now that my end connector is here, I can go directly into my L. Straight down with a kick. L, ghost O. Here's my P, capital P. Slope up from the midline, down, straight up, loop around. My A can be beginning directly under the round part of the P, so it feels like it's still the same word. Close it up. Here's my S, point, belly at the bottom, O with a high connector. And then U, driving to El Paso, we're asking a question, so begin below the top line. You're going to go up, touch the top line, come down, sort of like you're drawing an ear, and then you come straight down. Don't touch the baseline yet. Pick up and then put your period underneath the question mark. And there you have it. Your turn. Next sentence will be, Mia is my Valentine. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day very soon, so let's go ahead and practice right now. And the first word will be Mia. Let me put it closer in front of me. Beginning below the top line. Hook up, straight down. Skinny, skinny. There's my M. Since I have an end connector right here, I can go straight into my I. And then this is how you spell Mia. And then an A. Go back and dot your I. Mia is, ghost O, I. S, point, belly in the front, out, dot your I, is, ghost O, my. M, 3 humps. My, M-Y, down below, out. Mia is my Valentine. Ghost O, capital V. Tight hook at the top. U-turn, and then you're going to come out some. V, real close to there, I can begin with my A. Straight up. L, loop backwards, straight down. N, tall T, I, N, again, 2 humps, and then an E. Cross your T at the midline and a dot over your I. Mia is my Valentine. Period. your turn. Our last sentence this week will be, Nancy said, be kind, Oscar. We'll begin with Nancy. Here we go. N, hook up, tight hook up, straight down, back up, one hump. I have an end connector here so I can go straight into my A for Nancy. Straight up, down, hump over, hump over. This is a C. Come off of the midline and then reverse. Come out for my Y. Loop in the front, Nancy. Said, ghost O. S is a point, belly in the front. Let's go into the A. I and D. Now when we're writing this, there is a pause in her voice. Nancy said, comma, which is the bass line down below. It's a little wiggly line. Then we're going to begin with quotation marks at the very top, saying exactly what she said. So here's quotation mark in the front. You start at the top line, wiggly line to the front, wiggly line to the front, 2 of them. Now right next to it, we'll begin with B, midline up, down, go back up, reverse, don't pick up, just go back up, make your B in the front, top belly, bottom belly, and then a little boat inside. B, straight down, B, and then kind, ghost O, kind, bass line up, backward loop to the left, come straight down, stay tucked inside there. Loop in, kick it down. I, N, 2 humps, and then your D over and around, straight up, straight back down with a kick. Remember to dot your I. Be kind. And that's a little bit of a pause in her voice when she's saying it, so let's put another comma there. And come down here. We don't have enough room for Oscar, of course, so let's go down to the last line. Be kind. Move it up some there. Oscar. This begins right below the top line. And so you go up, over. Let me see, can you see better if I move it? Up, over, touch the bass line, making an oval. Once you touch the top where you began, go back and make a small little tiny loop and then end it at the top line. Many of your examples that I saw this past week, they had a very large loop right here that almost touched the midline. We don't want that. You just want a little tiny cap on top of the O. Then let's go into the S right next to it so it remains inside the same word. Slope up, point, os. Let's go into the C, loop over and around. Here's my A, straight up, straight down, and here's my R. Do not go up and touch the midline there, and then you're going to scoop back in, Oscar. And then this is that's finishing what she said, and then we will have to go back up and make our end quotations, which means they go into whatever it is she finished saying. So when you scoop in, that's beginning what they say, and then when you scoop the other direction, that is ending what they say. So basically she is saying this and this. And so that's when we want our end quotations to be surrounding it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, let me try to get it all in one picture, trying to. There we go, I think. Kind of. Oh, there's my dog barking. This is the end of this week. We have 2 more lessons before we finish all of our capital cursive letters, and then we'll be practicing some poems for Valentine's Day. So keep up the great work. I look forward to seeing it again this next week, and take care. And your turn.